Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me for this discussion on gender equality, disability, and social inclusion, or GEDSI, within Ocean Round 2. My name is Molly Gilligan, and I'm the GEDSI manager for the Ocean team. And today we'll do a quick overview of Ocean, an overview of GEDSI and Ocean's GEDSI ambition, some information and strategies for mainstreaming GEDSI within Ocean projects, as well as within Ocean applications for both community grants and partnership grant pathways. So a quick Ocean overview that I'm sure those of you watching are familiar already. Ocean is the Ocean Community Empowerment and Nature Program. This is a global competitive grants initiative that aims to support the people most impacted by declining ocean health and climate change through funding local solutions to local problems. The impact will be placing the ocean on a pathway to recovery, enabling local communities and nature to thrive. This program has funding through 31 March 2029 with a total investment of 60 million pounds. It's funded by the Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, DEFRA, through UK's Blue Planet Fund. And the grant administrators are NERIS. The Ocean Funding Pathways funds projects that aim to reduce multidimensional poverty in ways that contribute to the protection, restoration, and sustainable management of the marine environment. So projects applying must also promote GEDSI and demonstrate how they have taken GEDSI into consideration during project designs, demonstrate how they contribute to climate adaptation and or mitigation, and to work at the local level with organizations backed by the country of implementation. There are two pathways: community grants, which are led by small to medium-sized organizations and enhance the skills and capacity of local communities or organizations, as well as contribute to developing new ideas, providing local solutions to local problems, and empowering communities. And then partnership grants are led by medium to large size organizations that could be local or international, but they must partner with and work alongside organizations to deliver local solutions to local problems. Partnership grants implement an approach at a unique scale via well-established networks to deliver maximum impact. So a quick Ocean, a GEDSI overview and a discussion of Ocean's GEDSI ambition for round 2. So what do we mean by GEDSI? In round 2, Ocean is transitioning from GESI to GEDSI to strengthen the emphasis on the importance of disability, inclusion, and accessibility for projects tackling marine conservation and poverty reduction. GEDSI consists of 3 closely related and equally important topics. An approach focused on gender equality aims to remove the unequal power relations between different gender identities in the pursuit of equal rights, responsibilities, and opportunities for all. Disability inclusion is the process of ensuring the meaningful participation of persons with disabilities in all their diversity and ensuring the promotion and mainstreaming of their rights. Social inclusion is the process of improving the terms on which individuals and groups take part in society, improving the ability, opportunity, and dignity of disadvantaged and historically excluded people from decision-making and spheres of influence on the basis of their identity. To note that we also recognize social inclusion to include Indigenous peoples and local communities. Some key considerations for GEDSI. Inclusion is how you plan to involve and support people from different groups and backgrounds to participate in your project. Engagement, how you will connect with different groups in your communities to ensure their meaningful participation. Access, how you will provide access to opportunities, resources, or capacity building activities to people from different groups. Addressing barriers is identifying any groups that might be at risk of being left out of your project, explaining why or how they might be excluded, which would be the barriers, and how you plan to address, mitigate, overcome those barriers. Equity, the way people are treated, as well as their access to resources and opportunities, is determined fairly based on respective needs and compensating for historical and structural disadvantages. And then equality, which is everyone is treated the same way or has access to the same resources and opportunities. And you'll see these themes throughout the discussion. The JEDSI focus within Ocean. Ocean understands that a comprehensive understanding of gender and social dynamics is absolutely critical for informing conservation and poverty reduction initiatives. Women, youth, people with disabilities, and other marginalized community members face more barriers, such as limited access to resources, infrastructure services, and exclusion from decision-making processes. These barriers might mean that marginalized groups are less able to adapt to environmental or economic shocks, disproportionately affecting their well-being and their resilience to the impacts of climate change. Ocean is prioritizing and embedding JEDSI across all elements of the grant program to meet the ambition of being a JEDSI empowering program. And we'll talk about that ambition a bit more. So the ambition and commitment. Like I said, the ambition is to be JEDSI empowering, and the goal is to reach this by having a commitment that all projects are or strive to be JEDSI empowering. For community grants, those projects must, at minimum, have a JEDSI responsive approach, though projects that are a bit more ambitious, striving towards JEDSI empowering, will be prioritized. And projects under partnership grants, however, must take a JEDSI empowering approach. So what are these approaches? A quick overview is that we're considering 4 approaches: unaware, responsive, empowering, and transformative. Unaware would not meet the requirements for any ocean programs. These projects do not acknowledge the role of gender and social dynamics for exclusion or marginalization. They may unintentionally exacerbate inequalities and perpetuate harmful norms. JEDSI responsive address basic needs of and barriers for women, people with disabilities, and marginalized groups, aiming to reduce gender and social inequalities. And JEDSI empowering programs reduce gender and social inequalities while empowering community members by reducing barriers and increasing equitable access to assets, resources, and capabilities for women, people with disabilities, and other marginalized groups such as youth, Indigenous people, and local communities. And then transformative would address the unequal power relations and seek institutional and societal change. These programs are designed to address the root causes of gender and social inequality. So this is a spectrum, and to note that we have a guidance document that includes a table with bullet points outlining different components for each of these approaches. So I would recommend that you check that out to see the specifics of how to develop a JEDSI responsive approach for community grants, or a JEDSI empowering approach for partnership grants or ambitious community grants. And a point on transformative: may we all strive to be as transformative as we can, but just noting that sometimes the scope of addressing root causes might be outside the scope of individual projects. But it's a goal that as we all work together, we will be developing a JEDSI transformative community for us all. A few examples of potential ocean project activities, and I just want to highlight a few for you. The first is an activity could be about inclusive and accessible community workshops about sustainable management practices, increasing productivity and yields of ecosystems. Another might be supporting women, youth, and people with disabilities to establish and develop sustainable livelihoods and new income opportunities in marine and coastal economies. And another would be just another example, could be education, advocacy, and awareness raising. Those initiatives including discussing environmental issues and solutions for well-being and livelihood for coastal communities. So again, just a few examples of how JEDSI might be involved in your activities, and each program, each application is unique, and we're very excited to see your innovative ideas.